Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Mac here, Doom the Dark Ages, 100% walkthrough. Let's kick it off now with mission number 17. We're going to be working on that accelerator and that rocket launcher weapon mastery. I have both of those things pinned. For the mission challenges, they are super easy. We won't even pin them. Find all of the rubies and wraithstones. I'm going to do that for you. And we'll find all of the underwater secrets. I'll do that thing for you too. We will end up just coming into the first arena. We will bait one of these enemies for a quick parry attack and immediately get to work on our rocket launcher weapon mastery. We can get some pretty decent progress here very early on in the mission and take care of one of the harder weapons to master very easily. Then you'll just take out the rest of the enemies and move forward.
Location unknown. No reference data available.
After dropping down the second cliff along the main path, don't forget to turn around and hook around the corner on the cliff's edge to find 8 more gold. Actually, 2 stacks of 8 gold for 16 before you go into the arena at the end. You'll see a ruby as well as some other things, but we are going to grab those at the end of the arena. And before that, during the arena, we're just going to be working primarily on our rocket weapon mastery here. You can make a lot of progress very quickly here. Once you do reach the arena at the very end of this path, it's also not a terrible idea if you have the ammo to use your BFC. That's completely up to you. I spent all my ammo in the last mission, but if I had some ammo, I might use it to quickly clear out the first wave of enemies. With the arena cleared, you could technically leave through the door if you wanted, but that's a point of no return as far as I can tell, even though it's not indicated by the UI screen. There is a ruby that you might have seen as you entered the arena, so you'll want to climb up a small cliff along the outer edge of the arena, find the grapple point to grapple yourself up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of gold and a ruby at the end, but a mancubus does spawn. We're going to be still farming a little bit of that accelerator, as it's one of the more annoying weapon masteries to go for now that we are kind of, we have a good amount of them already taken care of. You can now proceed to the exit door. I will do a quick auto map open here, and we have 1 of 9 secrets, 22 gold, and 1 ruby for now. A lot of the collectibles and secrets in this mission happen in the final area, by the way. As you come through the portal, you'll come into an automatic underwater section. There is a missable collectible here, and I believe it technically counts as a secret area as well. You'll notice like a ship hull in front of you. You'll swim through it, and there will be one random piece of individual gold here. And then as you're most of the way through the ship, take a 90-degree turn to your right, and you'll find a secret pocket to the ship where you can also find a Codex page. So during this swim section, make sure you grab 1 piece of gold and 1 Codex page before you exit. And as you do exit, you will have a quick enemy encounter. After the enemy encounter, there is a small pocket to the left-hand side where you can just refill your armor and health. And there is a Sentinel Shrine directly in front of you. I do have a decent amount of gold here, which I'll try to spend most of. If you go to your Shield ruins, you should be able to max out one of your Shield ruins now. If you do that, it will also unlock an achievement or trophy. I'm going to end up going with the Heaven Splitter, as it's just what I'll kind of default to and use for the next few missions. You can also spend some of your currency on some melee weapon upgrades while you're here. Just try to spend on things that you want to use. If not, it's not a bad idea just to hold on to your currency and then spend it all at the end of the game just to unlock all of the trophies. Once you're done with the Sentinel Shrine, I'm going to save my rubies for the grenade launcher upgrade, which I still need, and then I'm going to drop down into the next area. In the next area, if you walk towards the mission marker, you'll actually drop down into some water, and as soon as you are swimming, you want to actually turn around and look behind you, and as you're facing the cliff behind you, look to the left. You'll find a small opening hole tunnel in the swim section underwater. This will allow you to link back up and around, and as you come out of the water, there are a couple of pieces of gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You do have some crossbow ammo, a life sigil, and this does count as a secret area. But as you link back to the area we were previously in, it will spawn some new enemies for you. As you rejoin the main path, you'll come across another leader battle. This is a morale leader. You're free to use your crossbow and just take out all of the enemies to break down that purple shield as quickly as possible. I'm going to be saving my crossbow ammo as I'm a little short, and I just wanted to make sure I had some for later. Once you take out all of the enemies and disable the leader, you should get a demonic essence upgrade as well, if I remember correctly. With the leader taken out, we will get our upgrade here for ammo. This allows us to have the maximum amount of spike ammo available. And before we do anything, there are a couple of collectibles to grab. If you stare at the gate from the direction we entered the arena and look to the left, follow around the outer edge, you'll find a breakable wall that leads to a secret area with a chest. This chest worth 50 gold, as they all are. Make sure you pick that up. And then come back out and keep following the outer edge of the cliffs. You'll find a mantleable wall. You'll climb up that wall, and that will lead you to one of those cosmic eyes, but also a little bit of a side path here by coming through the wall. As you come through the wall, you'll be able to drop down into the next area. You should be able to find a swimming section In this swimming section, there are more pieces of gold. They'll be immediately to your left as you enter the swimming section. 16 pieces of gold here to grab. Make sure you get them so you don't have to worry about not having enough by the end of the game. Then you'll swim through the water section, and once you get to the very end, you can use your shield to drop a counterweight box. Get behind that box, and you can shield charge it in order to move it. Once you move it, you can jump on top of it, and once you're on top of it, you should be able to interact with the eye in order to open up the gate in front of you. With the gate opened up in front of you, you can pass through it. There are more collectibles on your map, but you have to pass through this gate and make some more progress before you're actually able to reach them. Fort of 9 Secrets, 94 gold, 1 collectible, 1 ruby, 1 demonic essence. Now you can walk through the portal in order to kind of change worlds, shift dimensions, almost similar to Titanfall 2. And as soon as you do that, the ship in front of you, you can now get into. Previously, you wouldn't have been able to get into it because it wasn't open in the other dimension. As you come into the ship, take out a bunch of the enemies, and there's a pretty obvious collectible secret in the middle of the room, which I'll explain in just a second. So instead of shield charging your way out of the ship, look to the right. Here you'll be able to shield charge into a box to move a locked secret. As you move that box, go back down to the gate that we used to teleport into the other dimension. Here you can stand in front of one of those cosmic eyes, use your shield throw in order to open up that cage where the secret was. You can then jump back up top and grab that secret, which I believe is a collectible toy Cacodemon. For some reason, the game doesn't actually count this as a secret area, which I was actually pretty surprised by. But once you do have the Cacodemon toy, you should be able to now proceed to the main mission path very briefly, as there are more missable areas if we go too far too quickly. Come through the breakable wall, and then as you come out of that wall, look to the right-hand side cliff. Hook around a little bit, and here you'll find a stack of 8 gold. You want to grab that as well. And then once you grab that, follow the path towards the boat, through the hull, and go through the shield charge gate to get to the next area, and then take out all of the enemies, but do not leave this area unless you're going to go in the right direction. This encounter, by the way, is easy enough that I wouldn't recommend using your crossbow. With the encounter done, a ring opens up towards our objective. We will ignore that because to the left of the ring, you'll be able to find a breakable wall. And this wall leads to an optional area with a bunch of collectibles, but also a secret area and a gore nest and a ton of little individual pickups for individual pieces of gold. But once you're in this room, destroy the nest. This will trigger a series of encounters, and at the end of that encounter, we'll get a demonic essence upgrade. This is one of those encounters where you can use a crossbow near the end once the kind of leader spawns, but you can also encounter a glitch when then you can't actually harvest the demonic essence. So it's up to you. It's not a bad idea if you're full on BFC ammo to just use one once a lot of enemies spawn. With the leader harvested here, we are now at maximum cell ammo, and we'll be able to leave the area via the ring. You'll have to just use the man cannon to jump on top. And before we jump through that ring, let's take a look at our auto map. We are at 108 out of 194 gold, 5 secrets, 1 ruby, 2 demonic essences, 2 out of 3 collectibles, and at this point, jump through that ring to the next area. Once you do land on the ship directly in front of you, it is pretty obvious, but I'm going to mention it just obviously to make sure you're being thorough here. There is a stack of 8 gold in the ship that we landed on before we continue through to the next platforming section. Once we come through this portal, you'll end up in another underwater section, and here you can just basically swim directly to your objectives, and you'll exit out the other side into an encounter. Now, for this, there's nothing you can miss, no collectibles, no pieces of gold. It's a very straightforward swim section. Just get to the end of it. Once you come out of the portal, you'll end up in an enemy encounter where I believe 2 vagaries spawn. Those are like those kind of huge spider-type enemies we fought near the end of the game. And honestly, I'm going to use my BFC ammo here. You can take out both of them and pretty much all of the enemies in the entire arena very easily and very quickly here with one shot, saving you a couple of minutes. And at that point, you are ready to go and mantle up the wall directly in front of you. Now, technically, you could walk to the end of the level, but there are quite a few secrets and quite a few collectibles to grab. They're all very close to each other, so climb up that wall directly in front of you. Stick to your left. You'll notice that there is a collectible secret behind a locked gate. If you go to the left, you'll end up finding a small water swim hole that you can then swim through, and you'll end up swimming out of the bottom and falling directly into a tentacle. This is a secret area, which also completes our Find 3 Underwater Secret Areas mission challenge. Take out the tentacle to reveal a man cannon. The man cannon then shoots you up into the secret collectible that's locked behind the gate. This one is a weapon skin. Once you pick it up, the gate in front of you opens up to allow you to backtrack into the map. Now we're going to go to the opposite side of the map, staying kind of on the same floor without going up or down in elevation. And on the opposite side, you'll come up this ramp. On the right-hand side as you enter the room, you'll notice a couple of crates, and just past those crates, you can find a few pieces of gold. I believe there's only 4 pieces, but you don't want to miss these, and you'll end up in a room with the Sentinel Shrine. I will temporarily ignore the Sentinel Shrine as we need a secret key to unlock everything in this room anyways. Then you'll turn left, and as you turn left out of the Sentinel Shrine room, jump across the large gap in the middle of the pathway. In front of us, you'll notice a kind of secret key icon door. You'll be able to bash your way through the left. And then this is a little bit of one of those like kind of rooms that plays on your senses. Every time you like spin around, the room changes. So you're basically just trying to spin around until you get this really long hallway with a life sigil. And once you approach the life sigil, you'll get a ton of gauntlet melee upgrade power-ups to spawn, and once that happens, a ton of Hell Knights will attack you. Now, personally, I have the Dread Mace equipped, and the Dread Mace is great for these types of encounters because it can one-hit kill all of the enemies attacking you, but also one-hit kills all of the enemies near you. I don't recommend using a BFC shot, unfortunately. Just melee your way out of this, or take your time working on a couple of weapon masteries. I am completely caught up personally on my weapon masteries at this point in the clip, but we are about to unlock a Wraithstone, And once we unlock that Wraithstone, we'll be able to work on our next one. For me, that's going to end up being the super shotgun, which I'm putting a little bit of practice into before we get there. Once you defeat all of the Hell Knights, you'll drop down through the floor. You'll be able to shield bash your way through a wall in front of you as you land, revealing a secret area with your Wraithstone inside. Don't take the Wraithstone directly to the Sentinel Shrine. We're going to grab a few more collectibles before the Sentinel Shrine. There are really no more enemy encounters during this mission, so you don't have to worry about that. Circle back to where we came into the ship. As you exit the ship, go up the ramp on your left. Do not interact with the platform. That ends the mission. Instead, turn left. Once you reach the top of the stairs, you'll end up on top of the boat that we were just inside. Here you'll find 5 pieces of gold, and at the very end, a door. That door opens up, revealing the secret key. We're also not going to take the secret key directly to the Sentinel Shrine. There are more collectibles to grab along the way. But once you grab the secret key, a couple of enemies will spawn. And if you plan on also working on the super shotgun like me for my next weapon mastery, you can get a little bit of practice in. Come back off of the boat and then go down that ramp we just used to get up here. About halfway down the ramp, take a left-hand turn. You'll end up on a ledge. Follow that ledge, and this ledge will lead you to a couple of pieces of gold. I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of gold. And then you can turn to the right, look off the edge of the cliff. And you want to basically go to the very center of this area, between the broken down hull of the ship, right in the middle. And here, if you look to the left while facing away from the objective, you'll be able to crash through a wall, revealing 3 more pieces of gold. But more importantly, you can shield throw your way to the Cosmic Eye. This will open up the gate in the very middle of the area, which reveals a golden chest inside. And that chest has 50 more gold. And now, once we revealed that secret area and the gold chest, let's go ahead and work our way towards the Sentinel Shrine. If you remember where it is, it's just at the end of one of the directions from the kind of middle of the map. But as you climb up the wall, directly in front of you, there's a rock, and near that rock, there is 8 more gold. That's, I believe, all of the gold for the mission. You can now use your secret key to the left of the Sentinel Shrine to open up a door. This will reveal our final ruby, which also completes a mission mastery for us for finding all of the rubies and Wraithstones. We've also completed all of the underwater objectives, and we're now going to interact with the Sentinel Shrine. I mentioned I'm going to use my Wraithstone on the super shotgun. I'm going to spend 3 rubies on the grenade launcher upgrade just so I can use the Wraithstone a little bit later on. And then I'm going to start spending a little bit of money on my Sheild Rune upgrades, just so that we are working towards that 100% and having all of them available to us. As soon as you do equip your Wraithstone and use that Sentinel Shrine, after you come out of the secret room, a bunch of enemies will attack you. I'm already going to start making a little bit of progress here towards the super shotgun. You need to hit 50 enemies with all of the pellets coming out of the super shotgun, which is actually really easy, other than the fact that it does burn through a decent amount of ammo, but this is going to be one of the easier weapon challenges for us in the entire game. We can now move towards our main mission objective, interacting with the pedestal in the middle of the water. This pretty much ends the mission, so before we interact with it, let's double check. We have 9 out of 9 secrets, all gold, rubies, Wraithstones, demonic essences, and collectibles. Interact with the pedestal once you're ready. You can skip the cutscene for the chapter complete screen and the 100% verification. Thanks for watching. Hope the video is helpful. Leave a like, share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.